There you go.
There we go. Now.
Hello, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead tonight, and Danny's setting us up because he don't trust me.
I know better.
He's got it going on. Click off this weird thing over here so we can see the chat. All right.
Look at that. Ooh, man, did I put
And
that
we
in
went
there?
to red right quick.
I told you. Guys, it's so foggy outside right now you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yep, it is very bad.
I just came in the door. Miss Wanda told me she's had a possum what's been trying to dig into her chicken pen. It ate 2 of her chickens. Mm-hmm. Mutilated one of the other ones that's running around with a crooked wing now. So
and eating a bunch of eggs.
And been eating a bunch of eggs because she hadn't been able to get no eggs. So I decided a few minutes before we got ready to start here, I was going to go outside and see if that joker was out there. Well, I got out there and I can't see nothing because it's so foggy. So I cranked my truck up and turned my fog lights on and drove around to the chicken pen, and there he was.
And there he was.
He took
like
off.
Jerry Clower.
He took off running like a scalded ape. And the thing about it is I couldn't keep up with him because my flashlight was one of them super bright O-lights. And in the fog, super bright lights don't work that well. So he escaped from me momentarily. And I couldn't find him. So I got in my truck and I decided to drive across the pond dam, which was really not a smart idea, but
yeah, because he said he couldn't see nothing.
I couldn't see, but my fog lights and my flashlight on the ground, I was able to find the fence and drive along the fence and know that I wasn't going to run off in the pond. Got around to the other side by the cabin, and Wanda has a pile over there where she puts her composting at, and there he was. He was at that compost pile.
You sound like Jerry Clower.
I pulled the rifle out, put one shot into him, and he proceeded to move forward a little more, and he got another round in him, and then he still tried to move, and he got another round in him. And he is now taking a dirt nap, and Miss Wanda's chickens can rest in peace now. So I have eradicated her problem.
Yes.
So,
hopefully, unless there's more.
Well, unless there's something else coming around, you know. I mean, I did smell a skunk out there here the other day. So when I was out there,
well, I know there was another skunk. A week or so ago, I smelled the skunk, so I know he's still wandering around. And then over at Pecan Grove, I saw a skunk one night. I was coming in the end of the field, and I always look where I can see at night when I go through that field, because Danny and I both look for stuff. And as we were going through there was that skunk, and Danny didn't get him because he wasn't with me.
I wasn't with her. I was behind her. I was trying to be a nice gentleman and let my wife go first. And when she got there, she didn't have a weapon, and I did.
He was looking, but he couldn't. He didn't see what I saw, and I stopped and put the headlights on the skunk. Because every time we go through the fields at night or in the morning, we try to see what's there.
Yeah.
And he knew that I was stopped for some reason, but he thought it was an armadillo.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, because he don't carry a phone, I'm trying to tell him by rolling the window down, get back in the truck, it's a skunk. And he jumps out and starts walking toward the thing, but it wasn't there, but it'd run in the woods, and I sprayed he'd spray him.
I didn't know it was a skunk. I thought it was an armadillo she was looking at, and I was running out in the woods out there looking, and she's like, no! Oh, man.
Yeah, so we've had our little weird creatures all...
Yeah, this possum's been hanging around now since persimmon season, and it's my fault. I've been lazy and not got out at night and tried to eradicate him. But tonight, I just had that feeling. You know, you get that gut feeling sometimes that tonight's the night, you know, and and I went out there, and sure enough, there he was, and I took him out. So, no more possums, Miss Wanda. At least not that one anyway. What we got going on down here?
All right, so tonight, during the live chat, we're going to be giving away one of Miss Lippy's Bayou Blend
look at that.
signature boxes that she's done for Christmas. And it's got all her blends, plus all her feel-good stuff is what I call it, her health and beauty. And we're going to be asking a question a little later to see if y'all know very much about Miss Lippy and Deep South. But she had made up a lot of boxes this week in order to have them, because people after the live stream last week asked about her boxes. Would she do some for them for Christmas? And she sold out every one of them before today, but she checked her inventory and she does have some of the a few of the boxes. She's going to do the signature and the health and beauty. She had 2 sizes. The health and beauty will have only the 4 or 5 things across the bottom. The signature will have, I think, all of this. And
Miss Lippy said there could be some secret gifts included.
And so, yeah, she's adding some other stuff in there that she kind of mentioned.
Well, let me ask you something, Miss Lippy. Now, you can answer this one real quick. How you think that'd go with that possum I just shot? You think that'd go over too pretty well? You know, the Clampetts used to say the good thing about possums is, the possum innards, is they just as good the next day.
Yeah.
You know?
So so I'm waiting, but we are going to be giving away the signature box a little bit later, and you have to be in the chat because you got to answer a question about Deep South and Miss Lippy, and the first person that answers a question that Lippy sees, she and Miss D are running this chat where they can keep up with stuff. Your grandson says fry him up in some bread. No, that's probably your daughter.
No, Jen said, but I go, it's her.
Okay, I got you. All right, so, but y'all check out Miss Lippy's Bayou Blends at her website. I think I might have said go to Etsy last week, and she's not allowed to sell her feel-good stuff on Etsy, so she started her own website and she's selling everything on the website. So that's where you'll find her blends.
Ah.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll ask the question here in just a little bit.
Okay. I've never actually ate a possum, guys. I've ate a raccoon several times, but I would have to be really, really hungry to eat a possum.
I'm trying to think if I've ever cooked a possum.
I ain't eating no possum.
I know I've cooked
you're
a
supposed
raccoon,
to catch him. You're supposed to catch him.
I think I've cooked a possum before.
Well, yeah, but a possum, you're supposed to catch him, feed him out, clean him out real good before you eat him. You know.
Well, I know I did a raccoon. I just don't remember about a possum. I always used what did I tell you, them turkey bags and big
the big old turkey
bags that you put a turkey or a ham or something in. I put not the possum, I think it's a coon. I put a raccoon in there that my ex brought in one time, and then I put potatoes and carrots and onions and all that stuff, and I tied that bag up and poked some holes in it and stuck it in the oven, and they ate it. I did not, but they ate it.
That is just ridiculous.
So.
You gotta, I mean, I don't know though. I've had some of my friends eat armadillos, but I'll have to be really hungry to eat an armadillo too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just don't know that I can do it.
I don't know that well, that's one reason I have a lot of Miss Lippy's Bayou Blends. If it gets to the point.
That is true.
Miss Lippy's got me well supplied.
Yes. And
so if I have to eat anything, I can throw that seasoning. Like, you can mix up some taco seasoning, take any of her blends and mix them together and put them on something that you don't know what is, or something that you really know what is you don't want to eat, and maybe season it up and make it taste better.
Well, the thing about it, that's what me and Miss Wanda here has come to the conclusions of. We buy up a lot of stuff like Miss Lippy's blend. We buy these taco seasonings and stuff like this, the dry mixes, and we kind of like store all that stuff up in vacuum sealed packages, because when there ain't no food and all you got's these wild critters in the woods, if you sprinkle a little bit of them seasonings on them, it kind of takes your mind off of what it really is. You know, like when you live in South Louisiana and you're trying to eat one of them big Nutri-Rats down there, which I've eat them, and they're not that bad, to be honest with you. But it's not bad, okay?
I'm just taking your word for it.
I mean, you know, you have to eat something like beaver or nutria, or, you know, if you have to eat a possum or a raccoon or something like that, you sprinkle some of these taco seasonings or Miss Lippy's blend seasonings on them and stuff like that. Some of that voodoo seasoning she got stuff, you know, I mean.
Voodoo dust.
That voodoo dust or whatever, you know, I mean, hey, you forget all about it being what it is, and you'll tell yourself, now, this thing might not be quite so bad after all.
It might just be Miss Lippy's blends taste good.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's covering up all that weird stuff that's going on the other side. You know, it takes your mind off of it. So, I mean, it's kind of mind altering, some of this stuff. You know, you got to be careful there. It makes it, look, everything tastes like chicken, okay?
Especially with clucking good.
When you take clucking good from Miss Lippy stuff, everything tastes like chicken. I don't care. I've eat alligator that tastes like chicken. I've eat everything that tastes like chicken. Frog legs taste just like chicken.
You're killing people. Okay, so we have 2 Secret Santa items going on here tonight. We're also giving away Miss Lippy's signature blend after we asked a question later. But the first Secret Santa, we had someone donate Miss Lippy's Health and Beauty box, and we're going to give that to Trish KMCO, and I guess Lippy spelled that right, I don't know, but Trish KMCO, if you will acknowledge in the chat that you saw this, and then send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com, and we will have Miss Lippy ship out the Health and Beauty, the feel-good stuff, because lots of times they don't want you to say the SALVE word.
Yeah, you can't say the SALVE word, yeah.
Okay, so we're asking the question after a while for the signature, and we're also got another Secret Santa thing that another lady sent this week, and we're going to be giving that away in a little while. Okay, so I'll be watching the chat.
See, Lola says Nutria tastes like rabbit. And I kind of have to agree with you there. It's kind of got a little bit of that wild rabbit taste.
Yeah. Okay, so...
now, a Monkey Food Garden says they live in Louisiana, and if it moves, it gets eat.
Good. Okay, there's Trish. Okay, so Trish is in here. She will be getting the Secret Santa Health and Beauty box from Miss Lippy's Bayou. Miss Lippy's Blends. Y'all don't put the word Bayou in there. It's MissLippy'sBlends.com. Okay, so we'll get back to a question a little bit. All right.
So, Pastor Scott says, do you ever eat a woodchuck? No, we have woodcocks, but we don't have any woodchucks down here because we don't have enough wood for a woodchuck. We don't have enough wood for a woodchuck to chuck down here. So I mean, because we don't know how much wood he could chuck. If he if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, could do that.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh, I used to could.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Yeah. So, what all you been up to this week? Nothing, right? Okay,
well,
I'm going to turn some heat off.
Yeah, you need to turn this heat off out here. I'm telling y'all, I walked out the door a while ago with a long sleeve shirt on, expecting it to be cool, and did I get a shock? I started sweating before I even got back in the house. I told her, I says, good Lord, woman, you got this this heat turned on in here. Turn that stuff off. I'm like, man. Woo! Sitting in here about to sweat right now. You better bring my glass of water with you when you come. You done got this heat going here. Okay. Okay, Sheila D said one time I had Nutri-Rat and it tastes like roast, and that's what they told me it was until afterwards. You know, the crazy thing is, you know, I cooked gumbo for a church one time and didn't really have anything to put in it, and I went out and killed 17 squirrels. Because in the Bible, 17 is a number for victory. So I killed 17 squirrels. I figured I'd have a victory with this one, you know. And people ate that stuff up down to the last drop. And asked me, said, man, that's the best gumbo I ever had in my life. What in the world was that meat in it? And I told them, squirrel. And some of them was okay with it. But there was a couple of elderly ladies there that I got an evil eye from them women. I think they pretty much would have done me in if they had been a little bit younger. You know what I mean? So you can make stuff out of anything you want.
Okay. I had to sneak a cookie. These things are good.
But you know what? There's a comment right here. What was it? Gotta get it before it goes away. Way better than Soylent Green. Laugh out loud. Boo Lucky. Yeah. And you got to stop and think about. I ain't never seen that movie, but that Soylent Green movie where they do all this weird stuff with the food. And look, they putting insects in the food today, so we got to kind of be careful about what we say.
Well, they better be careful if they eat some of your food, obviously.
Hey, I cook some good stuff now.
I know, but they don't know what it is. I mean, gosh, don't invite nobody over to eat.
I don't never invite nobody to eat because I don't want to cook.
Yo, I'm eating a cookie. Now, Miss Lippy makes cookies.
They want to know what kind of cookie that is.
Miss Lippy makes cookies with cake mixes. And she got me hooked on cake mix cookies. And she flattens hers down, but I like mine kind of thick.
One's a little on thick side. She likes thick stuff.
I like it like that.
Yeah.
This is a yellow cake mix. I added 2 eggs, 1/3 of a cup of oil. She adds butter, but I added oil. And then I added about 1/2 cup of applesauce, 1/2 cup of oatmeal, and 1/2 cup of pecans. And mixed it up and made cookies. You cook them until they start turning a little brown. Now Lippy halfway through mashes hers down and then puts them back in the oven and lets them cook another 4 or 5 minutes and takes them back out and mashes them down when she gets them out. She makes them Subway cookies, I guess you'd call them. But I like mine kind of thick like a biscuit.
Well, doggy.
It's pretty good.
It looks good.
Oh, I added cinnamon to this one too.
I smelled cinnamon there. I knew there was something else in there.
I added cinnamon too.
Everybody in here said they love squirrel. Except Lola. Lola says she's starved in the apocalypse. I will forage in the swamp. Gator, turtle, nutria, crawfish. Look, I have ate gator, I've ate turtle, I've ate nutria, and I have ate crawfish. So I think I would survive.
Well, some people just getting in. We've had rain for 2 days, and for 2 or 3 days we've had weird internet.
We have.
So I've really not gotten to a whole lot.
We had a solar eclipse.
A
CME.
Flare or something. Or
a coronal mass ejection, if that's a real word. Yeah.
Something similar anyway.
Yeah. And it has...
Your daughter said you will tell people the name of the animal they're eating too while they're eating it.
I have been known to do that. I have been known to wait till they get their mouth full and get to chewing real good, and right before they swallow it, I say, you're eating this. And boy, they're like...
Well, we had a sheep that we had butchered, and...
What was his name?
The sheep's name was Frankie.
Frankie, that's right. I remember Frankie.
So when we had it butchered,
yeah,
I didn't want to mix it up with the beef, so I wrote Frankie. I should have put sheep.
Yeah. On all the meat packs in the freezer, you look on it, it has Frankie wrote on it. The meat packs in there, and you go like, somebody looks in your freezer and they go, Miss Wanda, who is Frankie? You know what? It's like you had a guest and he didn't pan out.
Yeah, that's when the lorries were here.
I know, I remember. Yeah, you gave
some of the meat.
Yeah, you gave them some of the meat.
It was kind of odd because it
yeah.
I've forgotten about that.
Nutria is a technically rat? They call it a rat, but it really lives off of vegetation. It lives in a swamp and it swims in the water like a otter or something other. He's got real thick hair like a beaver on it, and it's got a head that looks kind of like a rat.
My eyes are watering.
And they get really big. I mean, some of them get up to 10 pounds. Them things get to be pretty big. Everybody keeps saying, what is nutria? I just told you what nutria is. It'll catch up in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, snails are good too. What is snails? What do they call that in French?
Don't ask me. I'd be said it wrong.
You'd be said it wrong. Fish eggs is it escargot? Is that what it is? Is it escargot? I mean, I used to be rich one time and eat that stuff. I don't remember.
Know snails or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The cookie recipe is simply any cake mix, 2 eggs, and 1/3 a cup of oil.
They said
or 1/3 of a cup of butter.
Jane got you there, boy.
What?
She said Wanda giggles like Edith Bunker. Edith? Archie! I can still hear her.
Oh my gosh. They're saying escargot.
Yeah, escargot.
But anyway, But you can add whatever you want to them cake mixes. But 2 eggs and 1/3 cup of oil or butter. That's it, and add whatever else you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, got a pain in my side.
Now.
Oh my goodness, you got me laughing so hard I started.
So I'm gonna give y'all a few hints on Miss Lippy's stuff right now. Lippy and I have a lot in common. A lot. So the answer is gonna be something.
You're both married.
Well, that is something we have in
common.
common.
You both have a male husband. You both.
We both female.
You're both females.
Well,
you both cook.
Are we gonna do the pronoun thing? We are she's.
You are she's. Yeah.
We are she's.
That's capital SHES. Yeah.
Don't be. Oh Lord. Anyway, we got a lot of things in common. So the answer, if y'all want to start thinking, or you can pop it up, I don't care. But we ain't asking the question yet. But we got a lot of things in common. Her and Danny's got a lot of things in common.
Me and Miss Lippy got a lot of things in common.
Now, you get
sometimes it gets scary when Miss Lippy's here.
Me and Buddy back off and look at them and go, "You two are just alike."
Yeah, we might have had the same mama or something.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy and I are like calm, think things through, and Danny and Lippy are like, you know.
Well,
and
what can I say?
So
I love Miss Lippy. That's all I can say.
But the question tonight is something. Look at my text. Okay.
Uh-oh.
She done texted me.
She done texting you, sister.
Oh, she's. Is that?
This is what technology will do for you.
Yo, I just gotta know because she's telling me to look at my text. I done announced the winner for the Secret Santa earlier. Were you not paying attention? Yeah, okay, it just come through. Sorry.
We live in the South, Miss Lippy. We are a little bit further south than you are. It took a while to get here because of the fog.
Okay, we've got another Secret Santa winner. So before we get to Miss Lippy's question, we had someone, and the 2 Secret Santas didn't want us to give their names.
Look, you talking with your hands an awful lot tonight.
Let me put my hand down.
All right.
Okay. Earlier this week, I had a lady purchase 3 of Danny's books. You want to hold your books up? He's got to get with the program.
I think Miss Wanda's got me on something tonight. I'm not sure what it is. She fed me a while ago, or I fed myself. I don't know.
Well, I cooked.
You cooked it, but I went in there and consumed it, I suppose. I'm going to try to do this in a Vanna White style.
Okay, so these
we got an English pea. We got a... Nope. Oh, where we at? Wrong way. I'm dyslexic. Carrot. And a sweet potato manual.
Okay, so Miss Lou last week gave away a set of these books, and then we had another lady ask could she do the same thing. So tonight, Milk Honey Heritage Farms is the winner of Danny's books. Milk Honey Heritage Farms. If you will, let me know. And
oh, there she is right there. She said, I still need...
Well,
Milk Honey Heritage Farms, you're going to get those books. Come on down. You've been the winner on...
The Price is Right. No.
Okay. Never mind. Had a flashback from when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Beverly, I do need to sit on my hands so I won't talk with my hands. But anyway, Milk Honey Heritage Farms wins Danny's 3
still
books.
Still talking with the other hand.
Okay.
Went to tie them suckers down tonight, boy. Miss One of his hands is running wild. Yeah.
All right, so that's the other Secret Santa. So both of those are gone. Next week, we're going to have something from Hills Mills Homestead. So y'all be joining us next week. And so that's the books. We still ain't got to Miss Lippy now. Lippy and I have things in common. Her and Danny have things in common. But
we do.
What is something that Lippy and I both did as a young person? And that could go a lot of ways.
Boy, I was fixing to say, you're getting in some mighty touchy ground here now.
Some things that Lippy and I have in common that we can do, or we did do. If they watched a certain video on Crazy Days, they would know.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Let's see what all they've got going.
We got the ads going on. They said commercials.
A lot of commercials. All right.
Okay.
So
everybody must have got it at the same time.
Now, Lippy and I have a lot of things in common, and y'all got to start thinking, what do we have in common that we like to do? Or some people just now getting the Frankie joke. That's a little, I guess they're a little worse. Okay, Lippy's going to be messaging me shortly because I done seen it right quick. Some of y'all know us very well. We have a winner, and the winner is Lou, Krudewig.
Crudewig.
Lou
Crudewig. If I didn't say that right, forgive me. If I don't forgive me, then I'll...
It's called a holiday gift box. It's got her signature blends in it. So Lou, send me an email and I will get it to Miss Lippy and you will have it. No, Lippy hates candy corn. I'm sorry. She just don't like candy corn at all. But it was playing the piano. As a young person, both of us played the piano, and I still play occasionally today. I have a keyboard here in the house, but I don't get on it very often, but every now and then. Lippy has not played since her mother passed away, so it's been a long time. Plus, she damaged her hand in an accident several years ago, and so her fingers don't work exactly like they did when she was younger. But Lippy played all the time.
Mine don't either.
And Lippy had a story in the Crazy Days thing that her mother, she was in a recital. She was supposed to be playing the piano and all decked out, had this pretty dress on. And when she got up to go to the piano to play her recital piece, she had her sneakers on with that pretty dress.
It sounds like your granddaughter when she got married.
Yeah, my granddaughter Faith did the same thing.
She got married with a wedding gown on with sneakers underneath it.
She had her sneakers on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Backwoods Country Boy.
Somebody, V Knit Queen Solo said, I'd rather eat what Danny prepares than Tyson Foods.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
Well.
So, okay.
You know, I broke my hand one time when I was a kid playing football. And I asked the doctor, could I play the piano after I got through? And he told me, he said yes. And I told him, I said, it's a miracle because I couldn't play it before.
Yep. So you learned to play the piano when your hand healed, huh?
Yeah.
You played real well.
I played the guitar. I played the trumpet.
Did y'all know that?
I did. I was a trumpet player. I was a guitar player. I played the radio every now and then. But I mean, that was a few instruments that I played.
Yes. Farmer Boy Eli says, would you consider using your pond water to water your gardens?
As of right now, Farmer Boy, no, because there's no water in the pond hardly. It's about dried up. All water tables are dropping in the United States drastically. So, you know, it's a no right now.
Yeah. If it gets up, yes, we would have to.
If it was back like it was when we first built it, we was getting a lot of rain and it was running over.
And we have a pump to pump water.
We have a pump to do that, but we just you know.
Yes.
Danny had hands like Fred Sanford. Like, Elizabeth.
Danny, do you have beard trimming tips for my husband? Yours looks great. We were just discussing that before we went on. He looks shabby.
Miss Wanda said I look like a sheepdog. And I started saying
dog.
Woof woof. You know, it's like, you know, she said I look like a gorilla. You know, I'm like, well, it ain't my fault because I don't have any scissors at the moment that's good enough to cut with, and well, my eyesight like it is, I'm not sure I want to do it myself. They
say you play the Cocozelle horn. Remember the horn?
Oh, I did play the Cocozelle horn. I sure did. Yeah. So I kind of like a what's that they call that?
See, now Kathy says you look like a Santa Claus.
We were just talking about that before. I told her, I says, you know, my hair receding back like it is, if I didn't have this one little strig, where's that, right here, that I pulled down in front, like a Barney Fife thing. I pull it down in front of my face, you know. I would look like Santa, but I'd have to put some weight on.
All right, I gotta say hello to Emma Lee Z. She says she's only 13.
13. Hello, Emma.
Loves watching our videos. Awesome.
Awesome.
If Danny don't get too stupid, right?
My eyes are not the best in the world right now.
Dee Dee McMillan,
thank you, Miss Dee Dee. You know, I just got on Social Security, so I had to sign up for insurance. And when I did, they told me that I can't use it till after the first of the year. So I pretty much got to wait till after the first of the year to have anything done to my eyes if I can, you know, because if I do anything before then, my deductible don't count. So.
Oh, Lord, Miss Gail, did you hear that FedEx and UPS are merging? The new name will be Fed Up.
I'm about fed up. Look, we had a package delivered the other night. Wanda and I gave up on them ever getting here. And we went to bed. And it was like 9 o'clock at night.
No, I didn't find it till...
but I know you didn't find it till the next morning.
No, I found it in about midnight. Because
that's
I kept getting up.
She kept getting up.
Because it was raining, and I said, I don't want them leaving it at the gate or leaving it out. Sometimes they'll put it under the carport and different things. And so I kept checking my emails because it always sends me an email saying your package has been delivered. So up until about 9 o'clock, it didn't ever say our package was delivered. And it was pouring down rain. That was that first night it was raining.
Yeah.
And so I told Danny, I said, well, I'll check it again in about 30 minutes or an hour. And so around 10:15, I checked it again. No email. Well, I got up and I went to the door and I kind of looked around. I saw nothing outside anywhere. And I said, okay, so I went back to bed. And I didn't wake up till nearly midnight. And I ran in there and I checked my email again. And I'm like, okay, I still don't have an email that they've delivered. I said, obviously they're not delivering until the next day, but it had said it was out for delivery. And I went to the door to open the door to check outside to see if I wanted to see how bad it was raining. And when I opened the door, the package fell out in my hands. They had opened the storm door and put it in between. Luckily it would fit. And it was there, and I don't know when I didn't get the email that it was delivered till the next day about 9 or 10 o'clock. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was way late at night. Well, then the night after that, the UPS guy brought me a package about 8 o'clock at night, and he told me then, I told him, I said, well, I guess you'll probably be heading home pretty soon. He goes, nope. He said, I've still got several more hours to go tonight. And it was already after 8 when he was here that night. So that was a UPS truck driver.
Yeah, they really get a bum deal. Your mail carriers, UPS this time of the year, because they are swamped with packages. There's no extra help.
Yeah.
And they do good to get everything delivered on normal days. This time of the year, they're working their butts off overtime, double time, everything else. It's
Monica
crazy.
says, why wasn't your storm door locked? Monica, we don't live in fear. We live with Smith & Wesson.
My main door was locked.
The main door was locked.
I don't never lock the
We don't
storm
never lock the
door.
storm door. If somebody opens my door to come in, they probably won't go out. I'll just be honest with you. As a matter of fact, laying right there is a Glock 19 9mm that stays with me 99.9% of my life.
All right, Lou said she's excited to win Miss Lippy's box. So Lou, make sure you send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. Would you be cremated, embalmed, or buried naturally according to your religion?
You know, I don't have much say over that once I'm dead. You know, I mean, I would rather just be left alone, you know, and not done nothing to, because that'd be natural. But it's just like when my former wife passed away and I went into the funeral home, we had made pre-arrangements, but when I walked in there, he looked at me and he said, now what do you want to do? I said, she ain't here, so you do what you want to do. You know, and I made a couple of changes, but pretty much I left it like it was. But I mean, at that point I realized you can do anything you want. You can cremate them, you can, you know, you don't have to do it what they wanted. That's totally up to you.
Yeah, some of the boxes they have to deliver are actually heavy boxes that most of these mail carriers and stuff should not have to be lifted. Now I get UPS and FedEx, but they have a limit on how many pounds, but some of them still get pretty close to the limit.
Yeah. See, some people, I like this one here. Said my house is guarded by Smith & Wesson 6 days a week. You decide which ones. That's it. I have a big sign that my daughter on here tonight got me that I'm thinking about hanging on my gate. It's a big pistol pointed right in your face, and it says, "There ain't nothing here worth dying for."
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to probably hang that on my entrance gates going into my property here.
Yeah. All right, so what else we got going on?
You got to show what we got this week, man. We got something really awesome here.
All right, I think it's stuck in. Let me figure out how it's stuck in the box.
Oh, it's taped to a piece of cardboard.
I hadn't taken the plastic off, so y'all gonna see it through the plastic.
You're gonna look at it through the plastic, but we had a subscriber here.
Mr. Dale.
Mr. Dale did this for us. Look at this, guys. Mr. Dale is a great man. He makes us look better than we are.
Mr. Dale was the winner of the Growers Solution $500 gift card.
Yes.
So he sent this in appreciation for the gift card. And
look at that. Makes us look like we're young people.
Yeah, like we really in love too.
Yeah, it makes it look like we almost love each other.
Yeah. And
dang, Mr. Dale, you're a good man.
He's also done some of the pictures that we use in thumbnails and stuff like that. There's 3 or 4 of them that he sent that I use off and on. So now, what else have we got going on?
Let's see.
I'm trying to think.
Did we have anything else?
No, I haven't been to the post office.
No, we haven't.
If anybody sends anything to the post office,
I'm sorry, guys. We
go on Monday.
We got to go Monday. We got to go see a lawyer, and so we will be going into the big city of Wiggins.
Yeah. So I will go by the post office and see what I can, if I got anything.
It's a nice picture, though. Really, it is. I just got to figure out where we're going to use it at.
In the corn patch to keep the critters out.
Probably use it in the garden to keep the critters out, yeah.
I wonder if it'd scare the deer off.
I doubt it. They'd probably run off in the corner and laugh a lot.
Oh, you need to tell them your deer stories before we forget.
Which one?
All of them.
All of them?
You got 2 or 3.
I got 2 or 3 good deer stories this week,
4.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a bunch of deer stories.
Yeah, I was sitting there. Miss Wanda went off and left me, so I was like, sitting in the house by myself in there doing a little bit of work around. You know how you just piddle around in the house? And I was piddling around and looked out the back window, and there they were. 4 deer standing in my backyard. You know, well, there was a fence row between me and them, but they were standing in my backyard, licking their back. It had been pouring down raining. And I grabbed my .22 rifle because that's the only thing I had right there beside me, because I've killed over 100 deer with a .22 rifle. It can be done. And I laid down on one of them and went to shoot, and a limb about 3 feet up in the air broke off. And they all looked at me and walked off in the woods because I wouldn't shoot again because I knew something was bad wrong. So, those walked away from me. Then, a little bit later on, which is a couple of days later, I believe, we were sitting there in the house, me and Miss Wanda was talking, and I looked out the window, and the deer was standing by the house, about to eat the leaves off of a tree. And I jumped up, I told Miss Wanda, I said, "There's a deer in the yard." I said, "I got to get this joker." And I know that deer had to hurt me because he turned around and took off running. Now, how crazy is that? I never even got a chance to even get out the door.
And then the baby twins up the road here.
Now, we have 2 twins up the road right here. I stop and look at them all the time because they're babies. They just sit right on the side of the road. The mama sits right there with them. They just pets. They stay here in the neighborhood all the time. They don't mess with nothing. They're just babies. But then I went back on the far side of our property back here to pour out some scraps to keep the critters way away from the house. And when I was back there, I poured out the scraps, and it's a real steep hill back there. And I got to hearing something, and I looked, and a buck was climbing up that hill, and he saw me about the same time I saw him, and we both scared both of us. He looked like he's either a 6-point or an 8-point. I just seen the one side of his horns, and he dang near ran over me. coming up that hill. He spooked him when he saw me and scared me when I seen him running toward me. But I didn't get a chance to shoot him. And I saw 3 over at Pecan Grove, and I was going to try to sneak up on them. And I thought sure they went in my garden. And I snuck down the road, and I got to the garden, and I looked in the gate of the garden, and there was nothing in the garden. And I was like, dadgummit. And I turned around and looked, and they were standing to my left. And about the time I went to turn around, they all ran off, and I didn't get none of them. So
you and Chris went down to the food plot.
Me and Chris went down to the food plot to get the card out of the camera so we could look and see what's been coming in the food plot. And there were 10 big turkeys in the food plot. And of course, we didn't have no gun with us, but.
And Chris brought me a whole 3 5-gallon buckets.
3 5-gallon buckets of lemons.
Fresh from the Louisiana swamp.
Yep, come from the swamps of Louisiana.
I've been squeezing lemons and putting them in the juice in little containers, my juice containers, so that I have fresh lemon juice all this next year. How far a drive is Pecan Grove?
Let's just put it this way: it's less than an hour.
Mary Beth said she had a deer
eating off her,
at the edge of her
porch this morning.
Yeah, we've got deer coming. Well, behind us. They
just logged everything. Y'all know I showed you at the cabin over there. They ruined all the woods around here, and there's nothing for the deer to eat. It's been a drought. There's no food, and I do have grass planted and stuff like that, ryegrass and stuff, and they do come to munch on that. And I'm not gonna lie, I do feed them every now and then, you know. So, and I have the only water around here, so they come to the pond too.
Yeah. So, I mean, this year, if we wanted a deer between here and Pecan Grove, there's plenty. I mean, I don't mean on the road. Here or over there. You saw the one by the barn a couple of weeks ago.
Yep, I did. I saw one by the barn laying down on the ground.
Fence, they've cleared all the way up to the fence, to our fence line. And Danny said this one was just right over the fence there, laying in the grass.
Just laying in the grass. Well, it's weeds now, but I mean, it was grass then.
And at Pecan Grove, you saw one by the...
I saw one by the blueberry bushes. Yeah, because I went up there about 8 o'clock at night forgot to feed the cows and went up there and shined the light into the old Danny corn field where the blueberry bushes was. There's one just laying under the blueberry bushes there.
Yeah. So far, the deer have not gotten into our raised beds. They've not gotten into the containers.
They've not messed with anything.
So we're trying to beef that stuff up over there at Pecan Grove. Here, we're not planting anything outside. I've got a raised bed that has a few carrots and some squash if they make it.
If they make it.
And then my onions,
They smelled good out there a while ago. That rain, boy, they was kicking it.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got the high tunnels, and we've got stuff planted in the high tunnels. In my high tunnel, I have some beans that is getting close to blooming. I've got a couple of squash in there. I've got my cabbage, potatoes, like a foot tall. The potatoes are just kicking it. I've got some onions in there and a variety of flowers. And Danny's got banana tree and blackberries and a pepper plant and stuff. He didn't really plant anything this winter in his.
Oh, here we go. Farmer boy Eli says, how are you liking the new Cadillac? I mean Kubota with the cab on it. Look, I had to drive that thing the other day in the cold weather to put some hay out for them cows. And I'm going to tell you what, that was nice.
He got it. We took it to Pecan Grove. Yeah, you took it over there, and he was riding, and when he did, he gets out and he says, I am so glad that we can have something like this, because it made it so much easier for him to do what he needed to do, and that was just a blessing.
Because it was so cold, it was rainy, it was windy, and I cranked it up, let it run for just, I don't know, probably 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. And by the time I went and got a bale of hay and started taking it to the field, that thing was already so toasty and warm on the inside. I was just like, man, oh my gosh, I am so hooked on this, you know.
Yeah, he likes his tractor.
See, now Peggy says that the deer are eating her strawberry plants to the ground, and we got to move some strawberries. And that's what we've been debating over. What we gonna do with them strawberries if the deer is gonna eat them?
I got tickled at Lou. She says I had a deer in her house. She said he was on a plate next to biscuits covered in gravy.
Well, Ms. Lou, I think that is fantastic.
All right, Miss Tamber wants to know, why don't the red onions grow as big as the yellow and white ones?
You know, that's a good question.
Ours never have.
Now some of our red onions, the ones we got from Dixondale, not the Dixie Bells, not the red bells, but the red candies. Mm-hmm. The red candies did get as big as the other ones did, but now the Southern Belle and all these other ones that are red, we've never had any luck with them getting near as big as the big white ones do. But now those candy ones, we had the red candies, they did get as big as the others. But now they won't last very long.
No, they go bad.
They go bad really, really fast.
Yeah, Mr. John says, cover your strawberries with deer and bird netting. Well, we're thinking of some ways over at Pecan Grove to get a little, I don't know, what would you call that?
Well, we've
got smarter than the deer.
Well, we've got several 40% shade cloths that we've bought in advance that are really huge. And what I'm talking about, they can cover all these greenhouses. And we don't need them because our shade cloths are holding up well. We didn't know how long the shade cloths would last. So we bought several, and now we're thinking about making like a giant tent over one of our small gardens over at Pecan Grove and kind of setting up like a big circus tent over it with that shade cloth and just seeing how it'll work and see if it, and then put the 7-foot high deer fencing around that and just, you know, see how it'll work. See if a deer will stay out or if they still try to get in or what.
Mm-hmm. Where are we at? Dennis Burton said he bought a Kubota 6000 this past winter. He said, I don't feel worthy. It's like having AC, heat, and radio. Yeah, that's what Danny thinks, too.
Yeah, I mean, I turned the radio on. Now, the only thing I don't like about it, mine's hydrostat. I really didn't want a hydrostat.
Somebody's asking about the horsepower, too.
But I could not get anything that wasn't a hydrostat. And I have to turn the radio pretty loud in it to be able to hear it over the whining of the hydrostat. Now, that's the only thing I don't like about it. But
what is the horsepower?
It's a 26 horsepower.
Yeah.
I kept it below because I didn't want any computers. I didn't want any of this regen system and depth fuel system with the horse piss in it and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want any of that. So I just kind of stayed below the 26 horsepower, which the government regulates. Thank you, Mr. Obama, for that. And in that, you know, it does everything I need to do, so it's not a problem.
Okay. The shade cloth plan sounds smart. I have always wondered why you didn't do something like that. Well, here we could have. We just, we were hanging on to the shade cloth. We're like, okay, we may need to change them out. We didn't know if they would last or we'd have to keep taking them off and on. We don't even have any holes in our greenhouse.
Our greenhouses are like
years.
3 and 4 years old, and they're still in mint condition.
Who knows this year?
After this year, now
we don't have the plastic for them. We'd have to buy new plastic.
We'd have to buy new plastic, yeah.
But the shade cloth seems to be holding up really well, and we were thinking that would be the first thing to go because the sun hits it all the time. But both the plastic and the shade cloth seem to be holding up. It's been 3 years. And and we've got this extra now that we have. And even if we took this off and put new on, we could use the old. I mean, you can swap out.
Shirley said it's a spooky fog here in western North Carolina. it's a real spooky fog here in the deep south right now.
Do you know how to get rid of kudzu?
The only thing I've ever found that gets rid of kudzu is goats or Roundup. You know, I prefer the goats over Roundup, but both of them work pretty good.
I had a friend that had a whole field of it, and she would go out and spray Roundup several times. It took her several years to get rid of the kudzu in her field. And if she, even afterward, she kept an eye on it, and she would go spray Roundup. That was the only way she could get. But now the field was just a field that they mowed and kept. They didn't grow anything. I don't know that if you use Roundup, you could really. It'd be a while before you could use the field to plant.
No, you can plant the next year if you use Roundup, but
okay.
You just can't use a lot of it. I mean.
Well, she sprayed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, she was determined to kill that kudzu.
I mean, goats are probably the fastest way to eradicate kudzu because goats love kudzu.
Yeah.
Or at least they do here.
Lippy said they're using 30% vinegar.
Now, you can go or you can order this. You can order what's called agricultural vinegar. It's like 45 to 55% vinegar. Now, it will burn you if it gets on you. You have to be very, very careful with it. It's powerful stuff. And it's called agricultural vinegar. You can order that, and it does work really, really good.
Okay, Dennis Burton wants to know, have you done anything in the smokehouse lately? He did a Thanksgiving ham and smoked cheese. Did both with cherry and mesquite wood.
We actually haven't used our smokehouse this year yet. We still, it hasn't been cold. I mean, I'm not lying to you.
We still hadn't done the sugar cane.
We ain't even cut our sugar cane yet because it ain't even got down to 32 degrees. You know what I mean? So,
but
hopefully
it has rained, so we're not worried about fire getting out. Now, we were under a burn ban.
We've been under a burn ban here. That's right. Yeah.
And we were really worried about fire. But now that it's rained enough, we hope this week to make sugarcane syrup. Still hadn't ground any corn yet. That's one down the road too.
That's down the road too. I mean, we got to get it done.
Smoking, we really want to smoke some bacon soon. That's going to be something.
Yeah, I miss my bacon.
We missed the bacon. We ran out, and if it gets cool enough, we're going to smoke bacon.
Yeah.
I still got some smoked cheese. I put it in.
Well, Miss Wanda found some smoked cheese in the freezer. We didn't even know we had.
No, it wasn't in the freezer. I freeze dried.
Oh, that's right. You freeze dried it. You did do that. Yes, you did.
And I come across it. I'd forgotten it, and I'd put it in a container, and I was looking for something else in the container, and I found the smoked cheese, and so I took it out. And when I was making my mac and cheese for Thanksgiving, I looked at Camira's Kitchen. That's what it is. I was watching Camira's Kitchen, and she put several types of cheese in her mac and cheese, and she was talking about how good it is, the more cheese, different flavors. And so I said, I'm fixing to add some smoked cheese. And I added some of my smoked cheese to the other couple of 3 cheeses I had. And that was the best mac and cheese I'd ever made in my life. It was so good. Don't overpower it, but just add a little to your mac and cheese, and it's good.
Robin Nest 4715 says, oops, nematodes. Can I plant in the same spot, or suggestions on how to minimize them? Nematodes can be controlled if you plant broadleaf mustard. Now, the hotter the better. In your garden area, and let them grow through the winter months or in the spring, and let them get up about 10 inches tall, and mow them down and till them under within 45 minutes of the time you're mowing them, and they give off a chemical that kills nematodes. Now, you can't plant there for about 2 weeks, so make sure you do it 2 weeks ahead of time.
All right, scroll on down. Move your hand, I'll do it.
I'm going to get there. Give me just a minute.
Let's see. I think it was Arthur, an illustrator, said our numbers were going up and down with YouTube. It does it all the time.
It always does that.
While I mean, I don't know while we're live streaming. I guess it could go up and down.
People clicking in, clicking
in and out. I guess is what it is.
Nana's City Garden says, will vinegar work on chamber bitters? I don't know.
We'd have to spray the whole yard.
We'd have to spray every inch of our property because them suckers has come up here and they have taken over.
How long does it take to freeze dry cheese, and how thick do you slice it? Okay, we did the blocks, like I think it's a half-pound blocks of several of them and the 1 pound blocks of the other. And I just sliced it like, what is that, quarter, half inch?
Yeah.
Maybe?
A half an inch, yeah.
I just sliced the block in like bite sizes like you normally would do. And I put it on my trays and I freeze dried it. I don't know, I hardly ever freeze dried anything more than 12 to 15 hours, 18 hours on some things. So I would say at least overnight during the next day. And because cheese doesn't have that much milk and stuff in it. I mean, it's done dried out a lot. It doesn't have a lot of moisture. So freeze-dried cheese, just make sure there's no cold spots in it when you take it out. If it does, put it back in the freeze dryer and let it go 4 or 5 more hours.
Okay, Joan Matchett says, I planted garlic a few months ago. I got green shoots. Now we have frost. Will it survive? Yes, garlic will make it through the winter probably all right. You don't have to do anything to it.
Miss Gail wants to know how to do a cake of cornbread from homegrown corn.
Don't you have a video on?
I do. I don't know if it's on Crazy Days or if it's on Deep South, making it with Danny corn. But usually a couple of cups of cornmeal, half a cup of flour. And if it's, then I put some salt and baking powder in it. Then some oil, some eggs. I usually put about 3 eggs, probably maybe close to half a cup of oil. And then I mix milk until, or buttermilk, either one, whichever one you have, until it gets the consistency you want. So I can't tell you how much milk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, J.W. Oldner, O-L-D-N-E-R. Why do you need cool weather to smoke? Well, if I'm hot smoking, I don't need cold weather. But if I'm cold smoking, I do need cold weather because you can't let the temperature in the smokehouse get up over 80 degrees.
If you're cold smoking.
And if it's already 80 degrees outside and you build a fire in there, you're going to get over 80 degrees. And plus, cheese has to be cold smoked. If you get the cheese too hot, it will melt. So you've got to have a very low smoldering smoke, and it's got to be cold outside to do it.
Yeah, cheese, you're actually only smoking it. You're not heating it up at all. You don't want to heat the cheese.
Yeah.
That's a biggie. Let's see, what are they saying?
Oh, let's see here.
Backwoods Country Boy says he's got 15 bean soup in a crock pot and some good old-fashioned cast iron
cornbread.
That's the only way I'm making Danny some cornbread.
My cornbread, Miss Wanda makes it in a little skillet about 6 inches in diameter, and I eat half of it one day and half of it the next day, and it's always fresh that way. I don't like cooking up these big old pounds of cornbread and you have to eat on it all week long.
I've been doing that and he's getting tired.
It just dries out and you gotta, man, it's like eating, dirt. So I just sort of said, make the little ones.
Happy birthday, Double A, a few days early. He's going to be 50 this week.
All right. Man, my eyes getting twitchy on me there. Mr. Danny, how do I grow summer squash successfully? Well, first of all, wait till summer. Secondly, use a whole lot of fish emulsion around them, or
golden.
Okay, Dr. Earth's Golden Bloom. I was going to make sure I get that right. Around them and keep the squash bugs down, and make sure the ground's real rich and fertile, and it ain't going to frost. So you should be fine. Keep plenty of water to it.
All right, Miss Lippy put up the Danny cornbread video if y'all want to click it. We had collard greens for supper, says Linda. Oh, we had kale one day this week.
We had kale and turkey. We had cabbage leaves, which cabbage leaves actually fooled us. The cabbage leaves tasted like collards. Now, we didn't have a head on the cabbage because something ate the middle of the head out, but we ate the leaves off of it, and they taste just like collards.
Yeah. Amanda wants to know, should I start prepping my soil now to plant corn in the spring? If so, what do you recommend? She's in South Louisiana.
Yes, you need to make sure you get the pH up on your soil to at least 6.8. So it means you'll need to lime it now. Now, there's no need to go and... You might want to do a soil test. Now, Grower Solutions, we've been showing y'all, has these soil test kits you can order. It's like $30. You get this test, and they send you back and tell you everything that your soil's been depleted of. Because if you don't have all the proper nutrition in the soil and the proper pH, it don't matter what you do, it's not going to work. You might grow some corn, but it'll be just kind of small. It won't ever be nothing really big.
Sweet Potato said they'll be 61 on the 8th of this month. How do you feel about retirement at 62?
I didn't retire at 62. I waited till I was older. But I don't know. I just went ahead and took it. You know, I mean, once I got to thinking about it, and I said, you know, I may not live to be very old. I don't know, you know. So why not get some of my money back? Because I've been self-employed my whole life. I've paid in the full 15.3%, whatever it was. I used to do payroll. It was 15.3, I think. You know, so I just want a little bit of my money back.
Nikki Snook says I burned my thumbprint right off making cornbread in a cast iron. Well, I touched something today. One of my pots, my cast iron in there, and I burnt. I kept feeling it every time I go do something. You feel that spot. I touched the pot just briefly.
You know that
cast iron's hot.
I don't have a thumb. Where's my thumb at? I don't have a thumbprint on that thumb right there because I cut the end off of it, and so my thumbprint don't work no more. Half my thumb's gone.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
We're actually at 8 o'clock. I didn't realize that.
Cabbage leaves can be used as a poultice for pain. Huh.
Yeah, they can. They sure can.
Well, we're not giving medical advice.
No, we're not. We're not giving any kind of medical
I'm
advice.
just reading comments.
She's just reading the comments.
I'm just reading comments. That's not medical advice. We don't know that for sure. We have no clue.
Yeah.
Be your own judge.
Yep. Be your own. Try it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't.
Yeah.
Gail Davis said the raccoons ate all their corn. Well, the raccoons tried to eat my Danny corn, but 4 of them went on to take dirt naps.
All right, so we're going to put prayer requests up now because it's 8 o'clock, so we can get through. And
Scott's Life said, could you talk about your take on electroculture? I believe in electroculture. I've done it for over 30-something years. I first got introduced to it by... I used to watch a program called Mr. Baker. Yeah,
I didn't watch it. I don't know. Every time you look at me, and I have no clue.
I think it was called Mr. Baker.
That wasn't the name of the.
No, Mr. Baker was the guy on the thing. He introduced me back 30 years ago to electroculture. And ever since then, I've been experimenting with it in lots of different ways. I mean, you can actually use copper, you can use galvanized, there's lots of different things you can use. You just can't use iron. You can use, I think you can use bronze even to do it with. But zinc, you can use zinc.
Copper.
And copper. Copper's the best.
Copper's usually...
Jerry Baker.
That's it.
Jerry Baker. He had lots of gardening.
Dee knew who you were talking about.
Dee, thank you, Dee. Dee, me and Dee's out of the same shell, I believe. Jerry Baker had lots of gardening videos when I was a young man, and from Grandma Putt.
All kinds of different
he uses household cleaning chemicals to put in the garden. And Grandma Putt showed him lots of ways to grow things. Now, Grandma Putt, I think, was an Indian, if I'm not mistaken. So I learned electroculture from them. Electroculture only works if you do it right. You have to know north from south. You have to put the rods in exactly the right place. You have to, if you're going to do the coiled rods, that's the reason we order ours from Mr. Mickey from Hills Mill, because he already has them wound and bent and everything.
And y'all, they said if you're going to order pretty quick from Hills Mills because of shipping.
Yep.
Also, if you're ordering from Miss Lippy, order pretty quick because within a week or so, you may not get it till after Christmas. But yeah, Hills Mill Homestead has the copper rods that we've used and showed this past year.
Yeah, and they work fantastic.
We showed the comparison, plant side by side. This one with the copper, this one without it. This one hardly produced anything. This produced abundantly.
Abundantly.
So
we were not getting any strawberries until we put the electroculture rods in our strawberry patch, and from that point on, we got strawberries all the time out of it.
And since then, since they've not been blooming, I've had no slugs in them either.
Right.
Once I put the copper in there,
right, no more slugs eating the strawberry.
I knew copper pennies. People kept telling me that, but I just didn't go put them in there. But I put the copper coils that Mr. Mickey sent, and those worked really well. Prayers for Boss of the Swamp. And I thought you were watching.
I watched JC a while ago. I didn't know there was anything wrong.
It's probably they probably picked something up from Patreon.
Yeah, we'd have to look on Patreon and
I'll
see.
look right quick while you read.
Internet may go down. Copper shortage war. Weechie says.
Yeah, that was it. At the first of the year, the copper goes up too.
Yeah, it does. I do know that. Copper rods on north or south side. Well, we put ours on the south side of the plant, no further than 2 to 3 inches from the plant, because of the magnetic north field. You want the energy to be between the copper and the true magnetic north. You want it to be the plant to be between the two. Now there is about I'm gonna say probably a 2 foot, maybe a little bit bigger circumference around it, that it actually energizes the soil and puts stuff, energizes the soil. But now,
I don't see anything.
Now understand this: if your soil has zero nutrition in it, the copper rods are not going to make any difference. You've got to have nutritious soil in order for the plants to have something there to take up, in order to energize. You've got to be able to energize what's already there for the plants to be able to take it up. It's not a miracle worker.
No. But almost everybody that has contacted us that got electroculture rods from Mr. Mickey saw a significant difference in their plants. Now, we may have had one or two that said they did not, but 90% of the people had more production. And that was what production's everything.
Yeah.
You can grow all the plants you want, but if you don't get any production, you're still going to starve.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Nadia said her husband's being admitted to the hospital.
Yeah, she said that way a while ago. Said to pray for. He's being admitted to the hospital. Okay, guys, I see a lot of you put your prayer request up, and I do appreciate you doing that. Because
Dee's husband, Donald.
Miss Lippy said she's got to go. She got to go check on Cameron.
Okay.
Starla says she has chronic myeloid leukemia. Please pray for her. I've seen where she is having treatments and stuff. So we want to keep her in our prayers. And
Miss Jean has chronic kidney disease.
Yeah.
Unspoken by Christy.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of stuff going on here tonight. I mean, in our country, I could sit here for the next hour, and if it was where I could share stuff with you that'd probably make you just go ahead and sit down in a corner somewhere and cry. But what good would that do anybody? We can't change anything. So I don't want to bring doom and gloom out. I would rather
just pray
and be able to. Ms. Wanda, my hair looks horrible.
It looks bad.
It looks bad. I know. Ms. Wanda's
I would rather you just pray than worry about what's going on. We pray for it and be done with it. Now, y'all can look at him and not think he's weird.
I don't think I'm like it. Yeah. But anyway, thank y'all for praying for my eyes. I am still having some trouble. Now they haven't went crossed on me here lately, but I do have problems with them. They're still got a lot of issues. I am going to have to see an eye doctor, but I got to wait for my insurance to kick in, before I can. Okay, Father, we thank you so much for giving us a good chat tonight, Lord. We've enjoyed the visitation, and the fellowship with everybody here online. And we've had a good night. And Father, we thank you for that. Of course, we didn't get to all the questions that was asked, and we never do. We try to hit one every so often and try to do the best we can and hope that people understand. Father, we got a lot of people here tonight who put up a lot of prayer requests. And like we said last week, that's the first step, is admitting that you need help and being able to reach out and ask for help by asking for prayer. And Father, because they have acknowledged the simple fact that they need prayers answered, we're going to ask that you answer those prayers for them, Father. There's prayers for all types of cancers, all types of health issues. I mean, literally, I saw a number of health issues, and I pray for those that have health problems, Father. When your health goes down, you just don't feel good. I mean, I know how it is. I've got I injured my neck again. I've got eye issues, I mean, and Father, when all these things start to compound, sometimes you just don't feel good. And when you don't feel good physically, you're just not strong spiritually. And Father, so we're asking that you heal people physically so that they can get their spiritual side fed also. And a lot of people, needs healing, Father. I mean, they need healing both physically, not only physically, some people need healing spiritually. We need blessings financially because we're going into a holiday season, and there's lots of time that people need to travel. They need to buy extra food, and they got family coming over and stuff like this. And Father, depending on who you are, lots of people celebrate in different ways, and it takes a little extra money. So I'm just praying everybody has the finances they need to be able to afford the things that they need. And we also know with the magnetosphere problems we've been having, there's a lot of anxiety been going on from the solar system causing it, and a lot of depression and things like this is kind of sky high. People having heart problems and other issues has been going on because of what's going on in the solar system. And Father, it's not life-threatening, but it can be, and it can disrupt your life in a way if you don't understand what's going on. So we're praying for all those tonight. And Father, we just need to take time and not always ask for something, but to say thank you. Thank you for healing us. Thank you for answering our prayers. Thank you for just being there when we need someone to talk to. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving us when we weren't lovable. Thank you for giving to us when we shouldn't even be given to. And thank you for saving us from a devil's hell. Father, there's so many areas we could thank you. And I thank you in as many areas as I can every day of my life. And here tonight, Lord, the ones that's reached out and said that they have unspoken prayer requests. Sometimes the unspoken ones are the ones that are closest to the heart, and they're too personal to even be said. So, Father, please don't forget those when you look down upon the prayer request tonight. We ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Okay, I got to show a couple of things that we showed last week on Mickey and Kathy's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we want to show these again because next week... This is a cell phone holder. It's in two pieces. It's got the Hills Mills sign on it, and it fits together and holds your cell phone where it will charge, and where you can just do selfies. You can sit and talk and not have to hold it. This one is made out of...
Walnut.
I
can look at it and tell you.
Yeah, walnut. It's beautiful. And then they sent us...
This is I'm going to get this thing up here. This is a cutting board. This is made out of walnut also.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful cutting board. I mean, I guess you could probably use either side. I would preferably use this side right here because the logo
is
on the other side right there. And this thing it's not thin. It's pretty thick.
I love this. This is going to be my favorite. I love cutting boards anyways. Danny knows I got a variety.
Yeah, she's got a whole variety of cutting boards. Some of them we use, some of them we don't. Next
week I got to get with Kathy, and we're going to see what I'm going to be giving away next week from Hills Mills Homestead. So y'all be in the chat next week. Now they gonna want a hint, I'm sure, or a tip.
A tip. Oh, they all want to. Yeah, that's some nice looking wood there. It's a
Mr. Mickey has some pretty. I gotta see what's available.
Mr. Mickey has some very good ideas. Him and Miss Kathy, when it comes to making stuff like that, they have really good ideas. You know. Yes, stepping in it. That's walnut. Very good cutting board. Let's see. We all need that Danny AI tippy tip. Aged intelligence.
Okay, Miss Rose, she said her neighbors, I think she had messaged me on this. Her neighbors who were turning 88 this month, they lost their home and a car to a fire.
Yes, I do remember that. Y'all please keep this couple in your prayers because they were in their 80s and lost their home. I think it was a wood burning stove or something other.
I can't remember.
That actually burnt the place down. But they lost their vehicle. They got out with nothing but the clothes on their back, and I think they had a little small animal or something that might have got out too. But they lost everything. So keep them in your prayers also. The tip for tonight, you know, I have to be really careful about what I say because they are taking a lot of my videos down. And we know we're being targeted. There's no doubt about that. We're being shadow banned by YouTube. That's no secret. And I've always told y'all that 2023 was a year for solutions. And it has been, and it needs to be, because it needs to be a time. 2023 is kind of like the boat before it goes off the waterfall. You know, you got to make all these decisions, and you got to come up with solutions about what you're going to do once you go over the waterfall. And 2023 has been a year for preparing and learning how to make solutions for what you see or perceive is coming. But now 2024 is going to be a total different ball game, guys. Wanda and I sat through different seminars and different things, and some of the things we hear are just earth-shattering. I mean, literally, they're mind-shattering and earth-shattering. Some of the things that we hear from CIA agents and different things that we listen to. And it's 2024. We've been trying to come up with how to say this. 2024 is going to be like a roller coaster year. 2023 was a year for solutions. 2024 is going to be a roller coaster year. We're going to have, you know, we've always told you you're going to have extreme highs and extreme lows. Well, 2024, you're going to have extreme high temperatures. You're going to have extreme low temperatures. You're going to have extremely bad weather. You're going to have extremely good weather. You're going to have extremely high financial problems. You're going to have extremely low financial problems. I mean, you're going to have extreme health issues. You're going to have no health issues. I mean, it's going to be a year like a roller coaster. You'll be on top of a mountain and then you'll be in a valley. You'll be on top of a mountain, you'll be in a valley. There's things coming in 2024 I can't talk about because they won't let me. But when these things begin to happen, some of them as early as, I'd probably say 2 or 3 months from now, you're going to start seeing them. It's going to be a year of, how to say this, political roller coaster. You're going to have a political roller coaster this year. I can't go into any more detail than that, but I will say be prepared for the political roller coaster. Don't be surprised by what you hear or see in the year 2024. And remember, I told you one tip was look up. 2024 will be the year to look up. Look into the heavens. The heavens hold the key to everything that's going to happen. And don't be surprised by what you see in the year 2024. Go ahead and set your heart, set your mind, set your faith. Let it be steady. Don't let it be changed. There's scriptures in the Bible that says, concerning Christ, it says, if they say I'm in the desert, don't go. If they say I'm here, don't go. If they say I'm over there, don't go. Because AI in 2024 is going to do things that is going to be shattering. And you will literally have to have a very good, steady, faithful mind to not fall prey to some of the things that AI is going to portray this coming year. So please, keep your faith in the Lord. Judge everything by Christ. Because I did a video here a while back called The New Holy Spirit. And it has become the new phrase now in a lot of areas. The new Holy Spirit. People, rather than asking Christ about something or asking God about something, they ask Google. So Google has become the new Holy Spirit. And it is a false Holy Spirit, shall I say. So please pay attention in 2024. Keep your head on your shoulders. Keep your eyes to the skies. And guys, just remember, 2024 will be a roller coaster year. You'll be up and you'll be down. But the main thing is, don't let it get you down. That is my tip for tonight.
And I'm assuming that the winners messaged me, so
one of them said that they sent you an email. I saw that.
Yeah. So I should have 1, 2. I know I have 2.
There's one right there, and one up there.
That one's not it. I know I've got 2 of them, so I need a third person. It was Lou and Miss Patricia. I can't remember. There's one more. I need y'all as soon as we're through to. I didn't write them down. Lippy can post them.
Lippy can post them. Yeah.
The 3 people that need to send me something.
Trish says she sent you 2.
Okay, that's good. I seen 2.
Now, are they under the names that you're using on here? Because lots of times people send us emails and it's a total different name.
Yes, Trish, yes. I see
Okay.
Trish and Lou.
Okay.
And there was a something family. I forgot how she said it. Something family. I don't remember. Anyways, there's one more that needs to email me tonight. And then we'll get stuff out this week. Everybody will get their stuff. And
Yes.
we should be good. All right.
All right. We got to get up and get out of here, boys.
I got
Girls.
to clean the kitchen up.
I guess it's okay to call them boys and girls now. Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages. That sounds like a Barnum and Bailey Rankin circus. Oh. Countrymen, lend me your ears. All right, we're being Abraham Lincoln here. All right.
No.
Here we go.
7
years ago.
No. Okay, we're going to leave people with something. They're going to be sitting there, things going to be running through their mind. They're going to go, why did you do that?
I speak in riddles.
What does 7 years have to do? I said that, though.
No, you said it.
I said that, and I don't speak in riddles, y'all.
I do speak in riddles.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Y'all have a blessed, very blessed